What is up, everybody? This is Alex from IHE. And I was just thinking about this the other day. Why don't I just go through what these big sickening numbers look like at, just past the halfway point of the year. For reference, I'm recording this on the 14th of July, so I'll probably update this later in the year when we have fresher numbers. And while I will agree that a numerical dollar value assigned to what a movie grosses is not an indicator of quality, there is some stuff you can learn about what general audiences are vibing with, what they want to see more of, and I just find this kind of dorky stuff interesting. Some of the stuff on this list is quite random to me, or I forgot that they even existed and haven't seen them, so I'll give my commentary here and there. I'll gloss over some of this stuff Moana 2. I really associate that a bit more with last year, but Ballerina at number 20, let's start there. John Wick spin-off. I already opened it in a tab here. $90 million budget. And we're looking, came out June 6th, 57 million. So probably not what they were looking for. They probably wanted more than that, but weird time to release it. There's a lot of competition this summer. I don't know what kind of hunger there is. So all I really know about this movie is that there's been a bunch of reshoots and it seems like a production disaster behind the scenes. So I'm not really rushing out to see that one. The King of Kings is a funny sideswipe. That's that Christian animated movie, Angel Studios. That's funny. Let me look at this actually. Go away. Man, there are a lot of flops on this list. Elio, number 18. I suppose it didn't come out that long ago, but this is definitely not what Disney or Pixar want. Some weird conversation around this movie, that it's, man, if you want original movies, why don't you go out and support them? Well, because it looks like Elio. Why would I want to see that? Especially when there's The Accountant 2 at number 17. I don't even know what would... There's always one or two of these a year where it seems like a lot of people go and see it or care about it. And I see posters for it everywhere, but at the same time, it doesn't seem to be in film culture at all, especially online. No one really talks about it. Are they kind of like dad movies? I'm getting dad movie vibes from this. Whodunit action crime drama, Ben Affleck, Jon Bernthal, 80 million budget. But yeah, I don't even know what they'd consider a success for this. If it's an Amazon MGM Studios production, so the way that their numbers work is so confusing. The more you dig into it, the more confusing it gets. So the previous one came out in 2016 and had a much lower budget and an okay gross, I guess. I don't know if they're going to see that kind of returns with this. I don't know. All right, number 16, 28 years later, one I actually have seen, sitting at about 65 million, about a month after release. Now, the success of this movie is quite important with these ambitious trilogy plans they have. Oh, and I forgot to say, I guess, yeah, this is domestic, meaning America, because it gives you slightly different results when you look on IMDb, for example, even though I think they're linked somehow. I'm getting confused. So 28 years was about $60 million budget, and domestically it about made that back, but then worldwide it's kind of boosted it up significantly. I guess for a film as weird and dark and violent, that's pretty good. Be cool if we could get a little bit higher. I just want the trilogy to be made, and it requires some kind of return in order for that to happen. That's kind of the only reason I care about these numbers. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. That's kind of a last year thing. But those movies just print money. They just absolutely print money. I haven't seen that one. Snow White, I saw recently. There's a review up on this channel. A disaster. Not just as a movie, but there have been plenty of Disney remake disasters before, but they make money a lot of the time. This one kind of is set apart with just how much they are losing on this, because this is wild. So an agonizing, eye-watering $250 million spent on this piece of trash. And worldwide, we're looking about 205 million, so this is a huge, huge loss. They are losing hundreds of millions on this when you factor in advertising. So all I can say is funny, good. It's a shame it even made this much, honestly. Dogman, this is something I should know more about being the number one DreamWorks fan, but unlike Disney, DreamWorks seem to have been, I guess when they merged with Illumination, following that business model a bit more, spending a lot less on their animated projects, so recouping that budget and then some is a lot less of a Herculean task. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. 40 million budget, very modest for an animated movie, so they're probably pretty happy with that 145 return. Oh, this is that kid's book, isn't it, by the Captain Underpants dude. It's got the same character design. Yeah, Dev Pilkey. Nothing too crazy or surprising there. Right, Superman, a new entry. This is only 3 days after the release of the film, as of me recording this, and it's already at 122 Domestic, there have been lots of funny memes and comparisons of like adjusting for inflation for Man of Steel and like, oh, this is just doing nothing compared to Man of Steel, when these analyses are so myopic in their scale. They're thinking about like one metric, they're not layering all the different things, superhero fatigue, the damage the last series of Superman movies have done to the character, and of course it's been pointed out that if you adjust for inflation, the Donner version, or versions, original made over $1 billion, if you do adjust it for inflation. So one of the things about the movie for me that is interesting is kind of Warner Bros. Expectations or plans, or they spent a fair amount on it, over 200 I think, to get it out there, but we're kind of long past that era of every single superhero property just making $1 billion for some reason. There was just something in the water, I guess. This will be much higher in a few weeks, I would imagine. Mufasa the Lion King, another... Well, this isn't a Disney remake, I guess this is a Disney prequel? I haven't seen this yet. I might watch it when I want to be annoyed and laugh at Megacorp excess, like I did with Snow White, but a decent chunk of change here. I'm going to guess about 100 million budget for this. Wow, double it. 200 million, which of course worldwide is fine. This is what I don't get, because like it probably is better than Snow White. I haven't seen it, I can't talk about the quality of the film, but it looks creatively bankrupt. Maybe less scary, but over 3 times its budget made back worldwide. Man, that sucks. Is there not a way I can just show the... Like, it's not all about you, America. I want to see worldwide gross. That's frankly more interesting. Anyway, Mufasa, boo. F1, another kind of new addition. Seems to be doing well. Another kind of dad movie is the vibe I get. Huge advertising marketing campaign behind it. Feels to me like it's just one of those summer movies that's going to stick and have legs. I hear it's just kind of Top Gun Maverick with F1, which is fine by me. I'll see this at some point probably. Whopping $200 million budget. Wow, worldwide. Just about doubled that so far. So they're probably in the clear with this, actually. Huge recognizable property, I guess. You got Brad Pitt on the front. Not that surprising. Final Destination Bloodlines next, a movie I did see and enjoy. Won't stick around at number 9 for too much longer with some of the summer movies that are coming, some of the other stuff we've yet to see in the year, but admirable that it made it here. I would imagine they're extremely happy with, $50 million budget, a very healthy 285 gross worldwide. I feel like this budget range is like the ideal kind of mid-budget size you want to be aiming for. Like, to me, it makes way more sense to make 4 $50 million movies than one insanely risky 200 million that can, like, bankrupt your entire company. I don't know, when some of these budgets are so insane. Once you're going past 100 million, it's just like, what are we doing? Because then, you get into situations like Thunderbolts at number 8, which let's have a look at the worldwide before I comment further. Right, this is definitely a disappointment. This is actually kind of shocking. So just under 200 million for the budget estimated. Couldn't even double that worldwide, which is wild for a Marvel movie this deep into it. Was it the bad marketing? Was it the characters on the poster? With the way the kind of story unfolds, they definitely were expecting for this to be a bit more of a pop. But it's one of the better quality ones in a long time, so there's some irony there. But they've kind of diluted and cheapened their brand for so many years now. They kind of trained audiences to just wait for it to be on Disney Plus if they're not fully sold or hyped on the idea of it. And I can tell you, there wasn't much about the premise here that looked that enticing till I gave it a chance. Now, number 7, we got Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I'm trying to reckon with these numbers because the budget here is just completely nuts. 400 million estimated. Like, is some of that fronted up by the cultists? Because this gross worldwide would be good if the film wasn't 400 million to produce. Like that's a good gross worldwide. Except that they probably need closer to $1 billion for this to be profitable. Are they playing like the long game where they just expect this to sell well on digital? How would it make that money? I really don't understand how they've actually kept this franchise going at this clip, because the last few have had these enormously inflated budgets through injury reasons, for COVID. So I'm really fascinated how they feel about this, because even Dead Reckoning Part 1 has nearly 300 million. And that grossed less. See, this makes way more sense to me going back to Fallout. Under $200 million budget, enormous gross. Pre-COVID, things were different. But this makes some sense to me where I just don't understand how they've even gotten to this last film. Right, what's next? Captain America: Brave New World. Another one I haven't seen. Interesting that it's done better than Thunderbolts, though, considering the positive word of mouth on Thunderbolts and the complete inverse with Brave New World. I will see it at some point. I've seen like the Red Hulk scene. That seems to be the only thing of note about the movie. Wow, that's what, a 5.6 for a movie with Captain America in the title. That's brutal for this audience. What's the worldwide at though? Yeah, that's not great, is it? Are people tired of superheroes, or specifically Marvel's style of superhero? Let me know your thoughts, I'm curious. We're getting towards the end here. Jurassic World Rebirth. Sorry, Afterbirth. A new addition to this list within the last couple weeks. I mean, the reason we keep getting these Jurassic World movies is because people like CG dinosaurs. I went and saw it. Everyone just goes and sees them, even if they don't like them. They do well worldwide. It's just about big monsters running around in a jungle. You can see already in a couple weeks, this is making a very healthy amount of money. Maybe not quite as big as those previous World movies, but ain't nobody scoffing at that. This one is interesting, not because of the actual movie, a shot-for-shot live action in quotes remake of the 2010 How to Train Your Dragon DreamWorks movie. Number 4 is not surprising. There's kind of a trend outside of, well, Sinners is really the only one you can give a caveat to out of this top 10 right now, but every single other one, notice they are the safest bets possible for the most part. They're all big franchises, big IPs, something recognizable, remakes. Obviously that's going to dominate this list with how dependable of an investment they tend to be. But honestly, one of the most interesting things about this How to Train Your Dragon remake is that the budget's actually lower than the 2010 animated film, because it was actually kind of doing something, it was pushing boundaries, the 2010 one. Like, that was when there was still room to kind of show off flair in the animation as far as more expensive rendering and these big flying action scenes and whatnot, having this detail, this photorealism with the cartoony kind of stuff. Probably wouldn't cost this amount to make it now, like adjusted for inflation, this would be a much bigger number. And it did well in 2010, but now if we look at the remake, lower budget, I guess, because they can just farm out all of the CG to impoverished countries. They can underpay the animators. But then look, it's already outpaced the original movie and probably will go higher. It's safe as a family movie, brand recognition. How to Train Your Dragon has this really intense fan base that I'd only kind of learned about recently. Like, I like the movies, but man, people they go nuts over Toothless and all that. So I just went on the Sinners IMDb. What's this all about? So yeah, Sinners at number 3. Gotta say that's maybe the only one in the top 10 that I'm happy is there. We'll see if it sticks around at this spot. Hopefully it will stay in the top 10. Only original film, under $100 million budget, comfy gross, and kind of proves that LEO, is that what it's called? Yeah, LEO argument a little bit moot, because people actually found this interesting and went out to see it, even though it wasn't linked to any franchise or whatever. Now, the top 2 are very upsetting. Got Lilo and Stitch, another safe remake that's a property or story from my childhood. Yeah, I haven't seen this yet. I'm definitely not going to rush out to, but everyone else did, I guess. And I'm surprised they didn't. How is Snow White over double the budget for Snow White? That's what? So yeah, nearly $1 billion. That's just completely obscene. We're getting these remakes until they run out of. Until so much time has passed that they're able to remake the remakes of the remake. Like, that is what this has cemented. And it's not even like a lot of people don't even really like the movie, with deep criticisms for it, like missing the point and kind of butchering a lot of the ideas or messages from that original movie. But it doesn't matter. Kids love Stitch. Adults love Stitch. Everyone just loves Stitch, I guess. And number 1, I guess only because domestically it's slightly ahead of Lilo, which could very much take it over. It's had a few months lead, but yep, Minecraft movie's nearly at $1 billion. Probably will get there somehow. To the surprise of nobody, the video game onslaught I've been warning about for years and years and years is just coming true. Get ready for more lazy meme adaptations of big franchises that kids will go and see no matter the quality. Fortnite, Roblox, whatever, we're gonna get it, whether we like it or not. So yeah, funny little list. I'm not being alarmist or anything, because the top 10 is often full of garbage. Let's just look at 2024 just for comparison's sake. Yeah, it's just sequels, Disney stuff, Inside Out 2, Deadpool, Wolverine, Wicked, Moana, Despicable Me 4. I'm happy Dune managed to get in there, but a lot of trash. Oh my god, there's some trash in here. So yeah, there's a very numbery video for you. Who do you think are the sleeper hits that are going to come and sneak in to this top 10? Obviously, Fantastic Four is probably going to make it in there somewhere. But is Pedro Pascal enough? Who knows with these numbers in here? Super interesting. Thanks for watching, I guess. I'll see you on the next one. This is too long. Bye!